Hello, everyone. My name is Bertan, and today I'm going to talk about Palantir Technologies and how it uses AI and the ethical issues surrounding their use of AI. So I'd like to start with by giving a brief overview of the company. To start off, Palantir is a publicly traded software company that specializes in big data and analytics, and their headquarters are in Denver, Colorado. These guys were founded in 2003, and some of the founders are actually very famous. So the person on the middle, some of you might recognize him. He is Peter Thiel. He's one of the guys in the PayPal mafia. So basically, he was actually one of the co-founders of PayPal, and he worked with Elon Musk back in the day as well. Also, in addition to Peter Thiel, some of the co-founders are Nathan Gettings, Joey Lonsdale, Stephen Cohen, and Alex Karp. All of these guys went to Stanford. Some of them have backgrounds in law, and some of them have backgrounds in computer science and specifically artificial intelligence. So that really makes this executive board a very competitive executive board, in my personal opinion. So Palantir describes its purpose on its website as we build software that empowers organizations to effectively integrate their data, decisions, and operations. And basically, their early clients were government, and they helped them, the government agencies, and they helped them to manage data, to help them with like security issues and stuff like that. But currently, they're expanding their business, and basically they're helping other like private companies as well and other organizations as well. So, how is artificial intelligence used in basically Palantir? Basically, they help customers build artificially powered decision-making applications. As I said, they help government a lot with managing data and making decisions. And how they describe their products is that they translate complex data interactions into human readable concepts, allowing models to reflect how an organization views the world. Some of the creative stuff that they've done so far is Palantir Metropolis, for example. This software basically helps connects commercial proprietary and public data sets and discovers trends, relationships, and anomalies, including predictive analytics. And also, they have a great project as well that is known as the Palantir Gotham. This is specifically for government, and this is a predictive policing system that basically helps use AI to help government and law enforcement to identify potential criminal activity. So, how's the governance structure for ethics and AI? Basically, as I said, since AI, Palantir works a lot with the government, they have a lot of contracts between them, and that's why basically since day one, like they were founded, they had to be very, very careful about their security. Since they literally help the government, they have to make sure that it's not going to get hacked. So they actually have a huge cybersecurity team inside the company, but also they're also backed by the government on certain projects. And one of the super cool programs that they have in order to make sure that they have a great like they secure their data is the information security program. And that program basically makes sure that Palantir is safe and their customers are safe and basically the world is safe. That's how, again, it's described in their website. And basically, since AI is involved, always going to be some fairness and bias related issues. And unfortunately, Palantir has been accused of a couple of things due to their applications. The first one is that they have been accused by the Labor Department of the United States due to their improper resume screening when they were hiring people. They were accused specifically because they've been told that they improperly resume screened Asian Americans and some of the recommendations that were coming from Asian Americans. In addition, there are a lot of articles that discuss the bias in the criminal justice system and how, especially using AI and data and predictive policing can be hurtful to certain communities and certain regions in the United States, especially for people of color, and how Palantir has to make sure that they're not basically making wrong decisions with the data and the artificial intelligence system that they use. The next thing is going to be their mechanisms for recourse. So their main purpose is to make companies and government help them to make faster and efficient decisions. And basically, they are creating new ways to manage financial and management models as well. As I mentioned, so this like it's very important for them to make sure that these programs are secure since they work a lot with the government, since they work a lot with data as well. But to be entirely fair, after my research, I could not find a very certain way that they have to deal with some like difficult situation if something goes like super wrong. So they do not have a very clear mechanism for recourse, I would say. But as I said, their programs, their information system program works with a lot of like cybersecurity experts. So I'm pretty sure they're going to come up with one in the very near future. So I would like to approach this company with the three big questions that we always discuss in class. What goals should they pursue? What principles should they follow? And what sort of a company should they become? This is my personal opinion, but personally, I think they should pursue the goal of making their like artificial intelligence even more efficient and faster. And they should pursue the goal of expanding their business more to almost every sector in the private sector. They're always like government focused, and this is very good that they help them with security issues. But I believe private sector can really get help from them to make their products and services more efficient as well. And during pursuing these goals, I think the principles they should follow are basically being very, very careful about the security issues. So they should be absolutely ethical. They should absolutely be customer focused as well. And lastly, what sort of a company they should become. So as I said, I think they should expand, and they should be more and more AI and security based since they deal with like a lot of data. So I basically read the book Zero to One. This was a business book written by Peter Thiel with Blake Masters. In this book, Peter Thiel discusses how some businesses basically copy. They go from like one to two or like two to three, etc. And how businesses literally go from zero to one. They literally create something new, a new service, a new product, something like that. And basically, he recommends well, every like business owner and every entrepreneur to do that. And I'm pretty sure, I believe personally that what he tried to do with Palantir was the same. He tried to come up with some new ways to manage data and use artificial intelligence. And also, I found a very brief interview, a very brief quote by Peter Thiel in an event when he was in Miami. He was very concerned about surveillance, artificial intelligence. He said the government might basically use it to control people, but at the same time, it's very ironic that literally Palantir helped the government a lot of the times back in the day to come up with some surveillance, artificial intelligence, and at the same time, Peter Thiel actually a couple of years ago invested in a company that solely focused on facial recognition systems. So there's a little bit of an ethical issue there as well. And I think that raises the question for artificial intelligence that no matter who uses, whether it's government or the private sector, that people should not be trying to take advantage of it and should respect the privacy of other people when they're using it. You're going to see some of my references that I've used. I basically focused on a couple of different articles from different websites, and I looked at the Palantir's own website as well to get some information about them too. Thank you so much for listening. I'm looking forward to answering some of your questions.